welcome to the Cruising is Life podcast. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or just starting out, we have something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and get ready to set sail with us on the Cruising is Life podcast.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Cruising is Life podcast. Welcome back for another weekly episode. We're back to live streaming. We did a pre-recorded podcast last week for the pre-cruise of Voyager of the Seas. But Demetri is back from his cruise. Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Like a week.
You survived.
I did survive.
My parents were on the sailing after you guys, and they just got back today, so it has been a while.
Oh,
but,
how was it for them? Sorry, precursor.
it was. They thought it was good.
Cruise.
They thought it was good. They thought it was all right.
All right.
But they're much more picky than we are, so I feel like they've gone on Icon and Oasis class strictly this entire year, and pretty much last year too. So going from all of those down to a Voyager class, they were kind of like, ooh. So they had a little too many. They got a little too spoiled on their previous cruises going into Voyager.
What's their next one?
They are on. It's a good question. Actually, I have no idea. That is a good question. I'll have to ask them. But yeah, anyways, welcome back, Demetri. Welcome back, Justin, for our two co-hosts. But yeah, anyways, we're going to dive pretty much all in and, ask a few questions about Demetri's recent cruise on the Voyager of the Seas. Just to start us, what itinerary did you guys do or attempted to do? Because I know that changed.
Well, attempted to do was out of Port Canaveral, Sea Day, Cozumel, Sea Day, and then Coco Cay, but it ended up being Sea Day, Costa Maya, Cozumel, Sea Day, and back.
Gotcha.
So, yes.
Also, for those in the chat, if you guys could just let me know if the volume is good. We had some volume issues last time, so just keep me in check here. But yeah, I saw that, due to weather, that you guys got rerouted, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it's everybody says you got to gamble in December, and we gambled and we lost, but
yeah, my parents.
Oh well.
My parents had a really rough first night on their cruise.
Yeah, I can imagine because it was rough for us too.
Yeah, my cat can't decide where she wants to go, and so she's just walking all over the desk. But yeah, due to weather, so your first day, was it rough the entire cruise?
No, the first day was honestly like perfect temperature, no clouds in the sky, like no wind, literally perfect.
That's good.
And then as soon as we woke up, Costa Maya morning, it was rough.
That was your first stop?
Yeah, so we did Costa Maya first, which, I don't know. Long story short, we got bumped from Cozumel. There were too many ships there, and we got bumped.
Which is surprising that you guys got bumped.
I know. Right. I have no idea why we were the ones that had to get bumped. And that was one of the main reasons we had booked, because of all the ships that were going to be there that day. But, so we got bumped there. And then we went down to Costa Maya. We didn't get there till 12. And then
That's
literally
crazy.
As soon as we docked at 12, just monsoon for 3-4 hours straight.
Oof. How long were you there?
What time did we leave? We were there till 7, maybe.
Okay, so you guys had,
we had a full day, but it was raining half the day, and it never stopped raining.
Wow.
After the monsoon, it kind of let up, and at that point we're kind of wondering why we had, they were blaming everything on their announcements on Coco Cay and nothing to do with what was going on in Cozumel, which I guess on their behalf at that point we're like, oh, well, if Icon, we were supposed to be with Icon and Coco, why would they bump us, from Coco if, they're blaming the weather from being bumped in Cozumel. Right. Just probably to save themselves, they didn't have to give us any onboard credit. But then when we found out, Jerry, shout out Jerry, he got into the Facebook group of Icon Sailing, and messaged in there saying, "Are we still going to Coco Cay?" And then people were
I've got
like,
a funny story once you finish that.
I know where this is going.
and then yeah, so then people were like, "We're still supposed to go there, but the weather's supposed to be bad."
Mhm.
But then by like Wednesday or Thursday, they had said, "Yeah, we canceled Coco Cay and we're just having 2 days at sea." And we had also asked, side note, first officer in the buffet, why are we not? Or we're like, why are we not in Cozumel today instead of like whatever?
Right.
Because the weather was better in Cozumel, or why are we not going to Coco Cay, but Icon is still going? Blah blah. It's like because Icon is more maneuverable than a Voyager class.
I mean, I get that, but I don't because they both have azipods and bow thrusters.
The
But
extra 150 foot of ship plus 4 decks does not make a ship more maneuverable.
I would say,
But anywho, I think that was
I mean,
his cop out.
yeah, I don't know if that's the perfect excuse, but it was an excuse.
He's the first
For real.
unexperienced.
But speaking of joining a Facebook group,
Yes.
so Justin already knows where this is going, but when I sailed on the Norwegian Bliss for the maiden voyage, or I guess like the maiden canal transit at least, you know, we left a little bit late, but Justin was there flying his drone, rest in peace.
For real.
You know, and
When you
so
lost
he was
the crew, that's where you lost it.
no.
It's the video that got 1 million views on it.
That part's crazy.
Crazy. But anyways,
we left late that day, and they weren't really telling us anything on board either. Like, you know, it was like, all right, we're gonna leave at 5, then we're gonna leave at 6, but then like 6 o'clock came around and we still didn't leave. So
Yeah.
I ended up having to go to dinner, but Justin was apparently joined the Facebook group because I had joined it. I don't join the Facebook groups. I think they're, you know,
they're dumb.
I don't.
They're dumb.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I know some people like to do them. I'm not the biggest fan of them. But I was back at that time. So Justin joined that Facebook group and says, "Oh, does anybody know what time we're leaving?" And I saw it, and
serious, man.
And and I'm like, "What is?" I literally commented on his post. I go, "What is this we you speak of?" Because it was just for that specific sailing.
I'm also on board.
Yeah, he goes, I'm also on board. I'm just curious.
I'm just curious if
"Geez."
anyone's heard anything.
Oh, I'm sure you're on board, bud.
Oh, I'm on board, all right. I'm board the psycho train.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's my little funny story. It reminded me of that.
So funny.
But so did you guys even do anything in Costa Maya though?
Costa Maya. So after it was raining the whole day, but
Right.
I dragged Jerry off the ship in the kind of pouring rain.
Dragged.
So yeah, I mean, he kind of came, but we both dragged ourselves out into the rain, and
Wow.
I hate all of you guys. But anywho, we went and watched Jubilee leave, and then I had to do some shopping. So
That's nice.
it was nice to see Jubilee as well.
That's
Everyone's
good.
so-
How did Jerry like it?
I'd hope he loved
Jerry
it.
like it?
I don't know. I'm laughing so hard.
Classic.
Get a grip.
Dude, I'm
Yes,
crying.
sir. Yeah, so immature over there.
Anyways,
So anyways, Demetri, so it rained the whole time. How was the departure once you got back on board? That was pretty cool.
yeah.
It was fine. It was just us and Mariner. It was cool.
Yeah,
to
but you had
see,
like a nice mood lighting. The lights were on. It was kind of dark out.
Yeah, it was.
Love.
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, those videos of Mariner that you got as you guys were leaving was awesome. That looked really cool. The lighting was like just dark enough to where it was like really cool, but the ship was so bright that it like made it just perfect looking.
Besides the lights that weren't working on her, but that's a story for a different day.
With the you said the horns weren't working?
No, the lights.
Lights.
Just
The
because
lights.
Mariner looked horrible, and half of her lights weren't working. So
Oh. Gotcha.
Womp womp.
Yeah,
No, it
womp
was
womp.
Yeah, womp womp. No, it was cool to watch Jubilee leave from land. We sat under a
That part
tiki
was
hut.
cool.
Yeah, and then she was scaring the you know what out of us every couple minutes because she left like 45 minutes late and she kept blowing the horn and Mardi Gras like that horn is very loud.
The classic carnival pier runners.
Yeah.
Classic.
So they left late and then so it was cool, you know, to see. I've seen all 3 XL class now. Well, I've seen 5. 5 out of the 8. So
Oh, that's right. You saw some of them in Europe on
I saw
your
the
getaway
2
cruise.
ones in Europe, yeah. So I have the
That's
only ones I haven't
cool.
seen is what the Ada one and then the P&O.
P&O.
Damn.
We were supposed to be there on our Joy cruise. We were supposed to be there with Arvia. That
We had a good
sucks
lineup
because
on that cruise.
We
got
had such a good
scammed.
lineup. Yeah, we did get scammed. We're gonna see World America a few times though, which is gonna be cool. But
Yeah.
I suppose.
I suppose.
So then, at that point they were saying, they blamed the weather and Cozumel why we didn't dock there, but we were all looking at the camera saying they had better weather there than what we had in Costa Maya, which sucked, but oh well.
Yeah.
Then Cozumel the next day.
How was that?
Got off the ship a little bit, walked around. The weather was
That's good.
Cloudy,
Was
very
it-
windy.
Was it raining the whole time?
No, it was just like overcast in the morning, and then the sun kind of started peeking out,
Oh, okay.
kind of in the afternoon.
Okay.
But it was very windy. It was cool to watch all the ships come in. I mean, it was a full port. I mean, can't really complain since it was a full port. But it was Dream, Jubilee, and Paradise.
Okay.
And then that was cool to see them all dock next to each other. And then Jade was at Langosta with Vedanta Elegance. Fun fact of the day, that used to be a Cunard ship back in the 90s.
With the what?
Cunard ship, Cunard Monarch. Like, it was
So I've never heard of that, but what is it? What is it now?
Vedanta Elegance. It's some Mexican cruise line thing.
It's like new. I've seen it on the marine traffic a few times. It
Yeah,
just sits around that area.
I was gonna say, just goes to like Cozumel across the Maya and like just like sits in the ocean.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
it's
Yeah.
very weird.
Very weird.
Yeah. Seems like a good secondary market for a Cunard ship.
I bet it's
I
probably been
suppose.
heard like before that, but
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
And then next to us was Mariner again, so we got to see
Okay.
Mariner again.
The double Voyager class like that, especially when it's the first and the last, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, like going back to it, Mariner looked rough. So I don't know whatever they're doing
Really?
to her in Texas, but they really need to step it up.
Texas just
She's
they
not in
don't
Florida.
right. It's just we get so spoiled over here, but like New York, the ships just like get let go up there. In Texas, they just get let go. Jubilee's got faded lifeboats.
Yeah, her
I mean,
lifeboats were faded.
Celebration looks fantastic. Mardi Gras got a beautiful coat of paint on it right now.
Mhm.
Like that was a bright,
Speaking of paint, I showed
dark,
Justin
like
that Carnival Dream
yeah.
is currently 2 different shades of blue.
It's like 10 different shades.
Oh my
It's
god.
horrible.
I'll have to show you
That's
the
brutal.
picture. Yeah, so Sailways were good. We were the first one out, so we kind of got to see
Okay.
everybody else.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Cozumel a gazillion times, so there was
Right.
really no need to do anything. And then,
Gotcha.
then Sea Day back. I mean, ever since we left that Cozumel, it was rough. Like probably some of the roughest days. It was pretty bad.
Oh wow.
Poor Jerry had to excuse himself from dinner. The people next to us said, "Yeah, we need to go now."
Ooh,
It was
that's
rocky.
crazy.
The ship was moving a lot, and it was not only the alcoholic beverages.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
You're lying. That's crazy. I remember when I was on Carnival Legend, that's probably the roughest seas that I've ever really experienced. But it was like extremely high winds, and we were trying to cook our way across the Gulf in
It
November.
never went under 20 knots either, which is like,
Yeah.
at one point we were doing 23 knots. I'm like, what the
That's
heck?
crazy. That's fast.
Yeah, we were
I mean,
going.
I guess you gotta like just full steam just to try to keep it somewhat stable.
I don't know.
And to get back to Port Canaveral.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
But they're so early, though.
that's so weird. That's weird to me that I guess because they will do Coco K in there and like as well, but like Carnival doesn't usually have to do that. Whenever they do Western out of Port Canaveral, like I never see the Mardi Gras do that. But like when it's the Wonder will do like 24, 22, 24 knots all the way back.
So I don't know if Mardi Gras does this, but when I was on Magic out of Canaveral, or no, when I was on the Getaway, we were in Costa Maya with the Magic when she was out of Port Canaveral, and she left at like 2 or 3 o'clock to go back. So I don't know if that's why they have that extra few hours. Like I don't know if that's what Mardi Gras does right now, but at least back then, that's why they didn't have to go so fast because they left a little bit earlier.
So
Yeah, I
what
do
you
remember
call-
when ships first started going to Roatan and Mahogany Bay. I remember the ships used to leave really early there.
Yeah. Now they just give them
So-
Tuesday days back from there if they end there.
Tuesday
Yeah.
days, yeah.
Yes,
what I was
Birds, this will be on
saying was
Spotify.
when- Birds. Hey birds, hey Coop. When Voyager does this cruise, like literally she's doing Cozumel, Costa Maya in a couple weeks. She leaves Costa Maya at like 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
so weird.
And we left Cozumel at like 4. So it's like, I don't know why we had to leave Cozumel so early.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. You're going almost full speed and still didn't make it back until 4 or 5 a.m., whatever it was.
Literally. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a long trip. I mean, speed like that, you're still not even doing 30 miles an hour. So, I mean,
Right.
like if you think about it in like that kind of terms, like, yeah, you're going all day nonstop. So you do cover a lot of ground, but at the same time, like you're still barely moving 30 miles an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
But,
it's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, it was rough going back. And I mean, port wise, I mean, I'm bummed that we didn't get to go to Coco Cay. We had Hideaway Beach planned.
Ah,
Oh well,
yeah.
I'll have to go to Coco Cay
Bummer.
another time, I guess. And I was bummed we were going to be next to Icon, and I wanted to see Icon. I did get to see Icon for the first time, I will have to say. But
That's
from
good.
afar, quite afar.
Yeah.
But I'll have to go down to Miami and see her next time we go.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
How was is transitioning away from the itinerary, how was the food on board?
food was pretty good. We ate in the Windjammer most of the time. I think this kind of harks back to even like what I was saying on Wonder, that like on the Oasis class, you're feeding 7,000 people, and in
Mhm.
Voyager class, you're only feeding half that. So
Right.
the food quality, it's better. Like it was more consistent. It was always hot. Like on the
That's
Oasis class, how the buffet, there's like the little islands, and they have to carry the food from the kitchen to the islands instead of like on normal ships, Voyager, Norwegian, all that. They can cook the hamburgers right there, turn around and put them out for you to eat. They don't have to take them halfway across the room.
Right.
So, I think that's why the food was better. I mean, I don't know why the buffet needed to close at 3 o'clock and reopen at 5:45 if the food was already sitting out there at 4 p.m.
Yeah. I've always wondered why Royal does that. Like Carnival, they just leave it open.
Yeah.
Even at that, like they have just like 1 to 2 items still
Tiny
open the whole
section,
day.
Just leave a tiny
Right.
section.
Like they at least have like a few offerings like all day.
Yeah, the food was good. We ate in the Windjammer most of the time. We did the main dining room once on the last night for Italian night.
Hmm.
It was good. It was fine. I have no complaints with the food, honestly. And then we did, so the money we got from Hideaway Beach back and the port fees, we decided to go treat ourselves to Giovanni's table, which is different from Giovanni's kitchen.
Weird.
And it was good. It was fine. Nothing to write home about. But like I said, the food was solid. Like I've definitely had worse, so I'll
Right.
take it for how much we paid for this trip. So I was happy with it.
So you say there's a difference. Do you know what said difference between Giovanni's kitchen and table is?
So I think it's like the atmosphere, and it's a smaller menu. Like it's not the same menu, and like you can get 2 entrees instead of just one.
Interesting.
So yeah, so it was an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a dessert that you can pick from.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Did they have
on
fettuccine
Voyager,
Alfredo? Asking for a friend.
I was gonna say I think they did, but I have to look.
I love Alfredo. That's like literally. I'm not even kidding. So, cat's out of the bag. I booked my first MSC cruise, by the way. But I
Oh
hear they
boy,
have. I hear their pasta is so good. I'm
so
so
good.
excited to try their Alfredo.
It's all he's gonna eat for 3 days.
That's
It
all
is.
he is gonna eat for 3 days.
It is. I'm excited for it. That and the pizza.
They had a carbonara, but I don't see Alfredo directly on the menu. But I bet
Close
that if you
enough.
asked for some Alfredo, they would just
Thank
go
you.
make some for you.
I love that.
But yeah. So that was that. Yeah, like I said, food was fine. That I had no
Yeah.
issues there. I think that comes down. You're only feeding 3,000 people compared to 7 or 8.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. That was one of the things that really stood out on Oasis. Like everything about Oasis was really good. The food I didn't think the food was all that great.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, pizza. The line for pizza was always hundreds of people long because it's
Yeah.
usually the only thing that's open at certain times. And
Yeah.
on the Voyager, she doesn't have a Johnny Rocket, she doesn't have a Playmaker, she doesn't have El Loco Fresh, she
All
doesn't
of
have
that
any of
was
those
so
smaller
shocking
bites.
to me.
She has all the things that everybody else has. Nothing.
It like visually, that's what caught me off guard the most is like I never noticed this because like they made it seem like whenever she got her upgrades, she was identical to Freedom in a sense. Like they got the same slides, same paint job, same everything almost. But in that dry dock, they took out Johnny Rockets. Sure, like not the biggest deal in the world. I know it's a pay to eat restaurant, which kind of sucks. But they took out Johnny Rockets, but they didn't replace it with anything. It's just dead space.
It's a
They
shock.
don't have a playmakers. Why didn't you put a play? They can do it in the Voyager class because they've done it. The
They have it.
Navigator, and the Mariner
Like
both
on
have
Navigator,
playmakers.
Playmakers on Voyager was a big Louis Vuitton store. And I
Right.
saw like 2 people in there the whole cruise.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
like,
Exactly. It's not like they couldn't have done it. I mean, they could have. They've done. I know Freedom has a little bit extra space because it's a little bit bigger, but like they've done it on Mariner, they've done it on Navigator. Like I don't know why they didn't do that. And yeah,
well,
there's.
Explorer has it too. Does Adventure not? Coop? I don't know.
I don't think Adventure did.
I
Unless
don't
they
know.
added it after I went, but I
I
don't
was
think
gonna
they
say
added
they. It was just in dry dock, so if it has it, it was as of like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
that
And
was
you
the
know
weirdest
what?
thing to me because yeah, that
Why are
one-
they all so different? Like why
Yeah.
is different things like Joy and Bliss exact the same ship except for the pool deck, but they
Hmm.
offer the same amenities. Except for today, Norwegian Bliss is going to get the first movie theater in Norwegian Cruise Line's fleet.
I
Which
saw
is-
I think
that.
that's a waste of space.
Where's that even going?
It's going where the Illusionarium is, where they would do like that magic show with the interactive roof. Did you ever go in there?
No.
That's like a closet.
No, it's big in there. It's huge. It's like with all the LED bulbs on the outside, and it like looks like a Broadway thing.
I remember that being a really small area.
But no,
Interesting.
I guess it's becoming a movie theater, and they're, I guess, taking part of the Vibe Beach Club thing and making it a kind of hangout spot.
As
So
long as they don't charge to go up there.
I
They probably will.
don't think they do. I think I just saw some
Well, yeah,
stairs.
exact-
It's going to
yeah.
be just a chill spot. Anywho, and even Carnival, like Dream Class, like they're all basically the same. Like
Right,
I don't know
exactly.
why Voyager ones are so different, you know?
Yeah, and they used to all be identical, other than Navigator and Mariner having the exterior type balconies, rather than the ones that are built into the superstructure on the first
Yeah.
three. Like that was the only difference. They were
Yeah.
all identical, other than that.
And Voyager doesn't have the bigger golf course. She doesn't have, the cool slides that Navigator has. She doesn't have the Peekaboo Bridge. She has the fitness
She
and
does have
style
the new
center.
slides, which is nice. It's just not what Navigator got. Navigator got the best water park by
Yeah,
far.
she did. And I don't know why they didn't expand that among the other ones because Navigator
Yeah.
got it. I mean, sure, I don't like the casitas. The casitas are fine on the top deck, but
Voyager has those?
no. But I'm
Oh,
just saying,
okay.
like,
I
on
was about to say.
Navigator, like, and well, the
Yeah,
top deck was closed for half the cruise, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways from
that's
this.
true. Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, it's just a way for them to monetize the pool deck. But,
Yeah.
I don't understand why Royal Caribbean does that. I mean, I've never really seen them in use maybe more than like 5 times out of all the ships that I've been on that have them, which is, you know, probably at least 5 ships that have them that I've been on. I've only seen them used a few times. Um, they're so expensive that, I mean, nobody uses them, and they block the view like of everything. That's my one thing that I have right now that's like kind of irking me with Royal Caribbean is, it was their astronomical pricing like aside, that's like a different argument here, but like my biggest thing with them right now is that they're building these incredible ships, but they're doing so much with the pool deck to where like you can't see the ocean.
Yeah.
The biggest downfall of the Oasis class, which they did improve on Icon, I will say, the biggest downfall of the Oasis class, which again, my favorite class ever, but the biggest downfall of it is that you have to go all the way to the very top of the ship to see water, unless you go out to the jogging track, which is covered by lifeboats for 80% of it.
I did enjoy the promenade deck a lot.
Yeah.
I really wish ships would bring that back, which Norwegian is. Carnival still kind of has it. MSC obviously has it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and being able to go on the bow like that was great.
That's nice. But yeah, and then just the tall glass on the newer Oasis class.
Yeah,
I mean, just like a lot of the ships right now, they're doing so much to either block your view to where you can't really get a good look out to the sea, to the ocean. I mean, you're on a cruise. You're going on a cruise to be out on the ocean. You need to be able to see it. Stop putting these casitas up that nobody's using that blocks the view. It takes up deck space, things like that. But again, I mean, they improved it on Icon, but it still has those casitas, but they at least improved some pieces of it to where like, you can still see the ocean from certain places.
But and the overall ship, I liked it. Good. It was showing its wear. Like, what did they do for 2 weeks during the dry dock besides put some gas in it?
That's the funny thing is that's what my parents said. So my parents said, I go, they're like, this thing looks so old. And I'm like, it was just in dry dock 2 weeks ago. How does it look old? And they go, they must have done nothing but put gas in it.
When they're in port, they were painting it. I'm like, weren't you guys supposed to do this 2 weeks ago?
My parents had a balcony, and my parents do exaggerate a little bit like that, or a little bit. So take this with a grain of salt. But my mom literally said they could not go out on their balcony because there was so much mold out there on the balcony that they would have breathing problems when they went back inside. Like the balcony was just nasty and disgusting. And it's like, did you not pressure wash that?
I would not be surprised, but the breathing, Mrs. Barker, let's tone it back a little bit. But
well, yeah,
like I wouldn't be surprised.
My dad has allergies.
Mariner looked horrible. Mariner looked unacceptable.
Yeah, it's because.
And I mean, I can only imagine us. Like even our balcony looked because it's all metal, so it just rusts. And I feel like all
Right,
that
that's half the
natural
issue.
air gets,
I
trapped
bet you that's
inside.
probably why.
Chloroquine.
Yeah, that's probably why they stopped doing that after like the three. Those are the first, three ships to really have an excessive amount of balconies. So I'm wondering if that's like part of the reason why, they didn't do that with Navigator and Mariner is because of how, it reacts with the salt water and that metal or being part of the superstructure. If they put in the glass and with the wooden railings and things like that, like obviously that's not going to corrode and rust the way these quote unquote cove balconies is what Carnival calls them, but like completely different materials that aren't going to corrode like that.
I mean, yeah. So the ship was looking a little worse for wear. Mariner definitely looked worse than us, but like it was still fine.
Yeah.
Even like, inside like our room, it was very just 90s.
Yeah.
It was kind of annoying, the room. Every time you like walked towards the bathroom, like at night, there was like a motion sensor light, so it would wake whoever up if you just tried to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or leave
That's
the
really
room
weird.
early. Yeah, it was weird. I should have brought a piece of tape or got a piece of tape to cover it. The bathroom was tiny. Like, it was tiny. But like I said, the room was fine. It was clean. Adam broke his shower. That's besides the point.
Oh my god.
Care to elaborate how such a thing occurred?
I'd rather him not.
No. So
I
the
kept
ship was
getting
moving a lot.
texts. I kept getting texts from Jerry. Demetri dropped the soap.
Yeah.
It was so. The ship
You know
was
why it's
moving
broken.
around. And so basically, what had happened was, I guess the ship moved, and he like tried to catch himself, but his like knee or his shin hit the little
Ooh.
like where you put your thing to shave your leg,
Yeah.
the little bar, and he hit it, and it just like fell off. So then now there's like rust spot, like it was all rusty and moldy behind, like where that was, and his like bottom of his shower turned like brown or whatever. It was
gross.
And the other thing is that where his room was, he was down. We were on deck 6. We got upgraded. We'll talk about the room in a second. He was on deck 3, where those rooms are newer, where they took out the nightclub. So like his had newer carpet, newer air conditioning, newer bathroom, like newer tile, everything. And yeah, that still happened. So
yeah, I noticed when I went on Independence the third time, we were down like way on down on deck 2, but we had like it was all furnished as if it was like the symphony. Like it was all, the night, like the gray and white carpet and, USB-Cs and USBs everywhere. And I'm like, my parents were up like 5 decks above us, and it looked like the same normal cabin you would get on a Freedom class. They didn't have USBs. They had like 2 regular plugs.
Yeah, we didn't have any USBs.
That's crazy.
So,
speaking of crazy shower stories, that remind. So, Justin's face.
I don't know about that one.
So when Justin and I went on the Freedom of the Seas, there was the ship must have like jolted or something like that. But like as I'm like showering, I'm like getting all the conditioner out of my hair, and it like how it pulls off and everything like that, and you can just like have the shower head in your hand.
Yeah.
Well, it popped off the little thing that it was sitting in. So there I am with my head down, like scrubbing my hair, and all of a sudden I hear a clink, and then all of a sudden, boom, against the back of my head is the shower head. And then so I like jumped, and then it fell to the floor, and it started spraying where it shouldn't be spraying. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm dying. That was quite the experience. That was probably the worst shower I've ever taken in my life. So Freedom of the Seas.
I would say the water pressure was immaculate.
Really?
Which was very weird. It's probably because it doesn't have all those stupid filters that all the new ships have.
Yeah.
But Yeah. Okay. So
Is
going
that a
back to
good
the
thing or a
room,
bad thing not having the filters in?
like
question.
the sink was incredibly like powerful. Like if you turn this thing on all the way, you'd get like soaked. Like it would just splash all over the place.
Okay.
And then the shower, I don't know, like the pressure was good, but like the shower head, like the way it wasn't adjustable, but it was like the way it dispersed the water, it was like aggressive. So I don't know, but better than having bad pressure, so I'll take it.
Okay.
So our room, so we had originally booked a interior cat guarantee interior, but we got upgraded to a promenade view on deck 6. So the promenade's on deck 5, and we got upgraded to a promenade view on deck 6. Literally, like you couldn't be more in the middle of the ship than where we were. Like where that big bulkhead is, where the performer can walk across. That's where we were. Ladies and gentlemen,
really?
if you like to go to bed early, do not book this room.
So the speakers were right there.
The speakers are there.
Ugh.
I figured if you're farther down the wall or hall, I should say, down by guest services or down by, the other side, you'd be fine. But the speakers were there, and they play the jazz music throughout the day, and the people performing down there, and the parades. It was just nonstop all day long.
Wow.
I
was going to say we didn't
me?
have a problem at all on again, like you said, down towards the end, probably not as bad. And that's what we had is we were down towards the end on Mariner. And it was
We also
not
went during
nearly as bad.
COVID. So
Yeah, they weren't really doing they weren't doing a whole lot. They were doing some stuff, but yeah, not a whole lot.
Yeah, so did it bother me? No. Would I book that room again? No. So I'm a heavy sleeper. Like I'll fall asleep during anything. And by the time we kind of went to sleep, everything was kind of done. But it was interesting. I mean, it was a great view, good way to people watch. But
oh yeah, I loved that view that we had.
Yeah, it was unique. I would get that room again.
I would do it again just to try it again because I think we had a good experience with it, but I feel like if we did book it again, I feel like we might have a little bit of a different one. Sometimes I question, their thinking by putting rooms right there. Fantastic views, really, really cool, but at the same time, like if you're gonna put, like, who thought to put the giant speakers right out, like right next to somebody's window?
Yeah,
those aren't soundproof windows.
Mm-hmm. Or even if somebody was performing in like that little pub, like we were directly right across from the little Irish pub thing, English pub, and if even someone was performing in there, you could hear it like they're speaking right next to you. So, is what it is. But yeah, I mean that was fine. I mean, I like the ship. I mean, it's great. It's small little. I see why a lot of people like them. I see why a lot of people like Freedom Class because it's the same thing but like a little bit bigger.
The Freedom Class is one of my favorites. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it was good. What else? Embarkation was okay. Besides Jerry and Adam trying to smuggle things onto the ship like drones, and Lady just sitting there sighing the whole time because she didn't want to open their bag. But
wow,
lazy mom.
Everything was fine for embarkation.
So yeah, how did that work? Because drones. I feel like drones are kind of very popular now, but not nearly as popular like for just like a random passenger. But I feel like any content creator is going to be bringing a drone on.
I have no idea if they're like explicitly banned on bringing them on Royal Caribbean. I have no clue. I'm not experienced in drone. I have no idea. But they also had like camera stuff and the propellers. So like if you look at like the bag and the X-ray, the propellers probably look like knives.
Yeah.
And stuff. So like she's like sitting there scanning it for like 3-4 minutes, and she's like looking over, like sighing, and she's like, I don't get paid enough for this. But I mean,
Classic.
Whatever, it's fine. They put it through, but I mean, I don't explicitly know if it was allowed or not.
Interesting.
We waited in a line for like maybe 20 minutes to get to security, but they didn't even have all the lanes open. So it was like, what the heck?
You guys went through
and then
Terminal 5 in Canaveral, correct?
Yeah, Terminal 5. I guess that's the oldest one in port, question mark?
I don't know if it's the oldest one. I knew you guys went through 5, and I was asking for the sake of the podcast. But yeah, I know they recently like redid that one though, so I don't know if it's like
Nice and new, and like there were no issues with it, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd imagine if there was a bigger ship docked there,
yeah,
there would be issues, you know.
they eventually do want something bigger there, but it's just not going to work right now until they do that dredging project.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, it's not really
that
meant
started-
to handle anything that overly big. I think the biggest thing it ever did was the Prima, 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you call it? As soon as we got through, like the line behind us got extremely long, so I think we just got there at a good time.
Yeah.
But and then debarkation was completely fine. We never stopped walking.
That's
through
good.
the thing.
That's pretty
So that
typical
was-
nowadays for debark.
Yeah.
Debark used to always be a nightmare. That was like, not only is it suck getting off the cruise, but like debark was always just an absolute
Waiting the line
pain.
in customs and blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Because like we had to do it the old-fashioned way when we did Liberty of the Seas the first time. Ugh, that sucked. That was like half of the issue that time. But
That was horrible.
Bring your passports, people, not the birth certificates. If you know,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah,
Anywho.
yes,
Um,
I just got my passport renewed. Perfect timing.
fantastic.
So don't go off of my experience because I do not think it's ever going to be like that. I don't know why mine came back so fast, but I applied for my passport like maybe a month ago, and it came back in 2 weeks.
Wow.
They usually they say about 6 weeks is about normal. Mine came back in 2 weeks. I went to check my mail. I was like, oh my God, it's back. Like, I wasn't expecting this for at least another month.
Mhm.
So, I guess if you're trying to get your passport renewed, now might be a good time. It might come back sooner than you think.
All along.
Don't quote me on that, though. Don't jeopardize
Yeah,
your
please
cruise.
don't do that to people. Um, so I mean, yeah, deep art, same. What else did we not talk about? The cleanliness of the ship, fine. Food was fine. Like it was overall great. Good little getaway right after the semester. I needed a little, something, and it was great.
Right. That's good.
Unfortunate about the itinerary stuff, but that's out of our control.
Right, exactly. That's always the biggest thing. I mean, people like us, we cruise a lot, doesn't really affect us, but like, sometimes weather happens, things happen, medical emergencies happen. The ships have to redo their itinerary because they're not going to make it to certain places in time. At the end of the day, you're on a cruise. You just got to make the best of what you can do with it.
I'm at work, sitting at my desk.
Right, exactly. I'd rather be stuck on a ship than stuck at my desk at work.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're in a crappy port or stuck at sea for an extra day or whatever. Like, at least you're not stuck at work or whatever. Make the best of your situation.
Exactly. That's what we did. So
Make lemonades.
I did.
Yes.
Make lemonade
But yeah, it was good.
or drink it.
Well, we drank it. Don't you worry. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else. Let's see if I scroll through my pictures, maybe something will.
Let me think. I mean,
We did some shows.
Oh yes, how were those? What shows do they have on board?
So we did a they had the Crazy Quest, 18 and up. What do you call it? The Battle of the Sexes.
Okay.
And we
You
did
went to the ice skating.
The first night was ice skating. That was pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say the same caliber as on an Oasis class or an Icon class, but it was completely fine. But then I guess Studio B broke halfway. Did your parents get to go to Studio B?
What?
Like
I have
the
no idea,
ice skating.
actually.
Okay. It
I have no
broke
idea.
halfway through the cruise, so anything that was in there got moved to the comedy club, which sucked because it's tiny in there.
Define broke.
who knows? They said they were having technical issues with the floor. So, no, for safety reasons, they couldn't have anybody in there. So, no idea.
Interesting.
And then we went to Jerry wanted to see it was kind of like a Broadway kind of style show of songs from like movies, like movie scores or whatever. Typical cruise ship, probably hasn't been changed in 25 years, like a show or dancing, singing, whatever. It was fine. It was just definitely nothing special. So
interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, it was good.
No comedy shows or anything like that.
I think they only had like one the whole cruise.
Really?
We were doing something else at the time.
I think it was on Oasis. It was either that or Utopia. They do like midnight comedy shows. I'm like, dude, I'm falling asleep at midnight.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of things happen late at night,
which is cool. I mean, late night is always like a cool, like fun party vibe. Like, yeah, it's gonna be the 18 plus show, but like, man, I'm going to bed, man.
Yeah. So another thing, main dining room. It's always very elegant. That's one of the nicest main dining rooms, with the big chandelier.
Oh, that's a very pretty. Yeah, that's a very pretty dining room on that class. I believe
they replaced the carpet, and it's like red and blue with like leaves. It does not fit the room at all. I just found that very weird as I'm scrolling through my pictures.
That's weird.
Yeah, the ship was very rocky on the last day.
Did it have a lot of like that old like dark wood color to it, or is it more?
Yeah, all the dark wood around. Like that's like nostalgic vibes of the ships. I mean, it looked fine.
Because I know Freedom and Independence, were very bright, lighter colors, when it came to, especially like the Windjammer, but the Liberty is very, very dark, wood colors, which is the traditional because that's how they were both, all three of those are all
very traditional, the shiny metal with the teak kind of colored wood, mahogany wood. And I mean, even in the buffet was like bright green, flowery carpet. Like it was weird. Like I feel like they had just done that, but it looked like crap. Like I don't know, they didn't replace any of the carpets throughout the ship. Like the elevators looked horrible. The elevators were slow. We walked the stairs a lot, as much as we could with Jerry's broken foot.
Yeah. I feel like Royal Caribbean's elevators just the new ships obviously are a lot better, but
empty, and sometimes they were full, but most of the times they were full. Yeah. And they just,
their elevator systems aren't the best, but at the same time, it's thousands of passengers, so that they're not going to be perfect. But yeah,
the ship was decorated nicely for Christmas. They had a nice big Christmas tree. They had nice Christmas decorations. That was nice.
That's good. Did they do like a ceremonial like tree lighting or anything like that?
Not that I saw, but.
Okay. I remember when I did Symphony like 2 years ago. It was like the first night or second night of the cruise. They had like
the first night or something.
It was like a big get together on the promenade where they were like, "All right, we're gonna light the tree."
Yeah, I think Jerry was saying something because I guess he was on a cruise where they did that, but then the tree like only lit halfway or something.
Classic.
I actually my tree that I have in my apartment, which is why I haven't made a TikTok, showing off my my ship model ornament, tree. I went to plug it in and only the top half lit up, and I was like, ugh, I am not going out to get more lights. Like that's the last thing I want to do right now is go get more lights. So I just because it's like perfectly level with the window. So like from the window up is lit, but from the window down is not. So it sounds so bad, but like that's just how it is.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And then also, probably for the first time that is ever going to happen, Wish and Treasure got to leave Canaveral with us. And it was very cool to see them dock together from another ship, not just at land.
That part is really cool. Yeah, because you guys got, coming out of 5, you guys had like a perfect view of the ship. both of them.
Yeah, we did. But the lighting was so harsh. But no, we definitely got some good pictures.
Yeah, that angle, because the sun is like right behind those two.
Right behind the ship, so it was just harsh.
Yeah.
But it was still, like I said, fine. Very cool to see them together. They, you would have thought that they would have done, some sort of, horn thing or something for the first time ever meeting each other. Because that was the first time they had ever met, They did nothing. So
I don't know why the Treasure has been, I've seen the Treasure a few times. She doesn't really do the horn a whole lot. And I'm like, this is your big brand new ship. Like, why aren't you doing the horn? Especially because it's a Disney ship and it has so many new ones that no other ship has.
They're saving it for Saturday.
They better.
For real. I want to hear that.
The dreidel song.
If I don't hear the dreidel song, I want my money back.
For real. The money that you didn't pay.
I want something back.
I'm excited though. The actual maiden voyage for Treasure, like right now, it's been all media sailings, but the actual maiden voyage is officially this weekend.
How damn time! It's been like a month.
I know. For real, it literally has been a month since she got here.
Yeah, but anywho, like I said, it was a great time.
Yeah.
Am I yearning to go back on a Voyager class? Voyager itself, no, would not. I'd love to try Navigator. Please bring her back. Royal Caribbean, California does not deserve her.
Yeah, take Mariner.
Sorry, California.
Yeah, you can have
take
Mariner.
Voyager.
No, I want to see Voyager.
I'll do it for one deal for everybody.
You'll get to see her this weekend. Don't worry.
She's not going to be here this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
It's Adventure, which is fine because she just got back.
Yeah,
I know.
And then
I'll plan a few trips after the new year.
Somebody explain that to me, please.
What?
Why they're not all painted blue?
Because they're stupid.
According to Captain Gus, because they're not.
Because they're not. Yeah. Great effing answer.
That is what he responded to Justin when he asked why they didn't paint the Independence blue.
Yeah.
Because
it's a pretty logical question, don't you think? Jeez. He roasted me like a thing of potato latkes.
Yeah.
Or something like that,
Apparently the blue paint is just extremely expensive. It's not extremely expensive compared to a normal coat of paint. It was only it was a difference of like maybe $100,000, but like I guess if you spread that out, that across all the ships that need it, like it's probably going to be close to $1 million or so. But they're making plenty of money right now. I don't see why. It's just it's weird because there's only two of them, and it's one from each of the two classes. It's not like they did, two ships out of one class. It's one in two different classes.
Well, and I'd love to see the Radiance class painted too. That'd be very nice.
I don't know if the Radiance class would look that good like that. Would it? Do you think?
They're getting rid of them soon anyways, so you might as well not. True. You might as well just paint the ones that are going to stay.
I think Serenade class is staying around, or Jewel class is staying around for a bit.
Yeah, it's Radiance class.
Not Radiance class. I wouldn't put another drop of what on top of those things.
Jewel class. This ain't Norwegian.
Yeah, Norwegian. It is Jewel
Radiance class. Sorry.
Yeah, Vision class will definitely go first. Radiance will stay around for a while, which I'm fine with. I like the Radiance.
Yeah, I mean, the Radiance class are very nice. I'd like to get on the Radiance just to try that class, and I also need the ship model.
Do the Serenade. Oh, I guess you need. I was gonna say, Radiance is doing the 7 nights right now.
I also need. The only ship models I need from Royal Caribbean right now are the Rhapsody, the Enchantment, and the Radiance. That's it.
Damn.
You have Monarch, Sovereign, and Majesty?
I have Sovereign. I don't count I don't count those because they're not part of the fleet. I don't count the former ships.
Shame.
I do have Empress though.
You got me there. I literally got all of them except for Empress, which I'm so mad about. I want Empress.
Do you have Song of Norway? Well.
There's one on eBay right now.
Look
Go
at me
get it.
lying
Well.
I'm a chronic liar.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's one on eBay right now. You should go get it.
Song of
Of
Norway?
Yeah,
No way.
I'd rather get Empress.
it was pretty expensive.
There's a Sun Princess
Yeah.
model on 120.
Dude,
Yeah.
I got a Sun Princess model. That thing is so cool. My shout out to my parents' next door neighbors. I don't know if you guys are watching the podcast, but my parents
Yeah,
said
I
you guys
doubt
watch the videos. But shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome for doing
Thanks
that.
a lot. Thanks a lot.
It's huge. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's like all the other princess models.
nah, it's big. I'll have to show you when you come here. But it's awesome. It's got like a good amount of. It doesn't have like icon level of detail, but at the same time, it's like a good amount of detail. Plus, it's huge.
Huge.
You know, sometimes it's like either they're really big with no detail, or they're really small but have a ton of detail, which makes no sense. But this one is like a happy medium, and it's awesome. But yeah, and we got Voyager models now because they updated them.
Okay, were your parents able to get you one?
Yes, they got also.
Yeah, I'm
one
glad
for-
I didn't get one from you,
Pookie.
Demetri. I got one for free.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Merry Christmas to
My
you. Happy
my mom
Hanukkah.
said. My
Hanukkah.
mom said, yeah, my mom says a happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah Harry's bringing it to you for,
Yeah.
for Hanukkah this year.
I love Hanukkah Harry. He's a great guy. Yeah, find out your next parents' cruise. I want more models.
I have no idea what they're going on next, to be completely
Parents are
honest.
going to
I know
Vegas. Next,
that-
so
they,
that sucks.
they are going on Anthem to Alaska this year, but now I have an Anthem model, so
You're not going with them?
no.
He does not have the PTO for that.
Or the
I
money.
literally don't. I have 5 cruises this year, including 2 7-night cruises. I barely have enough to do the 2 that I have booked over the next 2 months.
For real.
I have exactly 7 days worth of PTO, and I have 7 days worth of cruises to take off of work. I literally had because MSC you have to do Thursday and Friday, which sucks. But so I'm going on the seashore, and then literally 2 weeks. I have 2 full weeks of work, and then I go on the Venezia for a week.
Yes. Can't wait.
Yes, Justin is not coming on the seashore with me, but he is going on the Venezia with me.
No, Pookie over here just had to get himself a legit Pookie, and I've been given this back seat.
How dare you leave us?
I can't
Hey,
believe it.
hey! Now you know how I feel when you kept taking Rachel.
I took her like twice.
Look,
Uh-oh.
We've been on like
okay.
15.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, dude, we paid $200. Just go. Just
Did
go.
you forget I'm unemployed?
It's $200. Who cares?
Then you pay it. No problem. I'll be there. I'll meet you there.
I'll be there with Balron.
Dude.
Yeah.
You both are completely invited.
Perfect.
Oh,
I'll send you the bill and I'll meet you there.
Yeah, the money will come back. Even if it's just not there, it'll come back.
It can't come back if it wasn't here to begin with.
It can't come back if it's not already there in the first place.
The real question is, do they take a firm?
Doesn't
what?
Carnival do that? Carnival like
Firm,
lets you do monthly payments.
When you like delayed payments, deferred payments.
Oh, defer. Oh, yeah. I'll just defer it for like a year.
Yeah. No,
I'll
like,
get you guys
Carnival
back.
Carnival legit does like payments, like 0% interest payments. I'm like,
I
bro,
think you have
if
to have
you're,
a credit card, right?
you have to have, I don't know what they do. It's like through a firm or something, or like something like that. But like, dude, if you're financing a cruise, like,
You probably shouldn't be going.
like I get like, I mean, instead of paying in a lump sum, but at the same time, like, I don't know. That's always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, why would you finance a cruise? Granted, it's
Finance
0%
a Star
financing,
Cruise.
sure, but like, why would you do that?
I'm going to finance our Star Cruise.
Like, that I can understand.
I was gonna say no hate there.
You have to
Yeah.
on that part. Oh!
Oh! Busted.
Okay, time slot.
Hi.
7:00,
Anyways.
right on the hour.
Right on the
Right on the
hour, yeah.
hour.
Hopefully no one's watching
Cut.
anymore.
Anyways, I feel like we've already completed our review of the ship, though. So we're just kind of
Yeah.
talking at this point. But,
Yeah.
well, I mean, with that, because we're going to continue just talking like this about random things, ships, ship models, and stuff like that. So,
For real.
so this would probably go on for another hour. But, anyways, Demetri, anything
So-
else is regarding the review that you would like to include that we may have missed?
I don't think so. I think we kind of talked about everything. Like I said, it was a great time. Nice little getaway. 5-day little getaway.
That's good.
And that was it. Food was good. Can't complain. I was on a ship,
Sounds like a good cruise to me.
and and it was cheap. So that's all that matters.
Right. Yeah, some of these cheap cruises, it doesn't matter how bad it is.
I was gonna say.
Oh, that's what I'm like. My seashore cruise, I literally paid $190 for each of us. So I don't care if it sucks. I don't care. I've got pretty good expectations just because I've heard a lot of good things about MSC lately. But you know, I paid $190. Like if it sucks, like okay, you know, that's kind of the mindset I have. But I actually think it's gonna be pretty good. I'm excited for that cruise. Very excited for Venezia too, because that one's gonna be really cool being a Costa ship.
Yes.
That's also
Hype.
Justin and I's first week-long cruise together too.
Yeah, we'll probably kill each other at the end of it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say if I see a murder thing.
Murder on the dance floor.
yeah.
Yep.
But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of the Cruising is Life podcast for our review of Voyager of the Seas. I think next week we are going to do a topic of all the new ships coming out next year in 2025. So that's going to be a really fun
I
one
like
to talk about. Yeah, exactly. So looking forward to next week. I hope to see you guys there. If you're listening, watching, whatever platform you're on, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Peace.
Goodbye.